All right, man. You're with the Hellion Rocks as we do every week, every day, every hour, every minute of the day. We bring you cool rock and roll bands that you might not have heard, bands that corporate radio are afraid of. And we've got Herb Hines from Scent of Remains on the radio with us today. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
Oh, excellent, excellent. So you just hit our radar, and it's thanks to Shauna O'Donnell, man. Tell us about the band.
Yeah, so we've been around since late '09 when we formed. We've had, as a lot of new bands do, we have, some member turnover. We've been with a solid lineup now for the last couple of years. And that's Michael Yates on vocals, myself lead guitar, Brian Lemmings on lead guitar, Jeremy Powers on bass, and Paul Shippers on drums. And, we play, I guess a lot of people call us groove metal. I think it's just metal. We've got all these subgenres and sub-subgenres now and core things and that. But as far as I'm concerned, we're just sort of in your face, metal the way it's meant to be played. We just released our new record called Under a Blackened Sky via Pavement Entertainment. And, Shauna obviously hit you guys up to get you to talk to us about that. And we're really excited about it. It went out on January the 21st, and it's available nationwide and in Europe in all your retail stores and through iTunes and Amazon and all that good stuff.
Cool, man. Yeah, we've often talked about with other bands and other people in the industry about there's too much niching of the music. I just like it's rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? And there's too much post-neo thrash, classical, grunge, blah blah blah. There's good rock and roll, and I've been listening to Under a Blackened Sky, and it's straight up good rock and roll.
Hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. We're really excited about it. We thought we did some really good writing on the record, and, we're just happy to get out in front of as many people as we can, and, let's see what happens from here.
Yeah, I've seen that you guys have hit the road with a few people, Watain, that's a cool-ass band. They've got a definite cool image, and, they draw an interesting crowd, so how was that experience like, man, opening for Watain?
That was crazy, man. It's, they bathe like in goat blood before every show, and they had this Clorox bottle
right.
full of goat's blood out behind the venue where we were playing, and it had gone rancid, and it smelled like, it was awful. It was just awful, and the entire auditorium at that point started smelling like that. They blew these fans to waft that scent out towards everybody. And they were really, really cool guys. But, man, that really stunk. And I guess, I was making the joke that we're Scent of Remains. That should kind of be our thing, But they've been doing that for years. And they were really cool guys. I got a chance to talk to Eric for about 20 minutes before the show, and he was just really down to earth. They won a Swedish Grammy for their record, and so we talked a little bit about that. And they were just such good musicians, and it was really, really fun to watch. Because of the rules of the venue, we played with them and, some stuff in Knoxville, Tennessee, where the show was. They weren't able to do a lot of their pyro and stuff like that, so they kind of cut back the stage show. But it was still freaking awesome.
Nice, man. So speaking of that, you mentioned the name Scent of Remains. Give me a clue. How did you guys get that? Where did that come from?
Well, it was kind of, we were just goofing around, and before I even joined the band, it was Paul and some other guys, our drummer Paul and some other guys, and I guess they'd come up with that name. They'd come up with several names through like a random metal band name generator online. And, when I joined the band, we started discussing what we wanted to call the band, and that one came up, and true story, when I was 12, my mom sent me across the street to check on the widowed lady who lived across the street, and I found her, and she had been murdered and shot in the head by her boyfriend. And so I found that body, and for me, when I saw that name, it just resonated with me. It's like something you can never forget. And so we kind of decided to go with that, and we did the research, and there are no more Scent of Remains out there, and we thought that'll work well with Google. We like the image, and we went with it.
Yeah, it hangs well on the, in the mind there. It's memorable. It's short. It's quick. It's not too hard to to pronounce. So it's cool, man. It's a good name for you guys, and it kind of led me to listen. The name led me to do a preconceived notion of what the music was going to sound like, and it worked.
Yeah, well, good, man. It's I think we're probably a little more melodic in some ways than some people think when they hear the name, but that's just that's the way we write. We're not afraid of melody. We're not afraid to put hooks in our songs. We're kind of in that space between the super extreme death metal and the radio-friendly stuff, more like a Five-Finger Death Punch. We sit sort of right in the middle there, and that's kind of on purpose, It's kind of what we want to do is try to bring in a little, some fans from from each side there. And, it could backfire on us, and it has occasionally. There are people who think, we're not heavy enough, people who think, we're too heavy. But for the most part, it's working out really well. And, we're getting really, really good response, a lot of good reviews, a lot of good feedback. So, we're just going to keep pushing.
Well, you can't really compromise who you are as an artist, to sell your music, because otherwise then you've left your art behind for corporate gain. And I think that, that's what's occurred in today's music scene. We've got a lot of people that are writing music to make money for that specific. And, that's why we get throwaway music or fast food music as it is. And we've lost touch with some of the great artistic music of our past. So I think if people reach down and make music for the right reasons, for the love of making music, we're going to get better quality.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. It's like when we write, we just start writing. We don't think we have to sound like anything in particular. And we have just, between every member of our band, our influences are so wide and varied. And, we pull a lot of things. If you listen to the record, you're going to hear a lot of different stuff on there. You can hear influences from all the way from Black Sabbath to, some progressive stuff to, some really melodic stuff. And, I like a lot of old metal, like old school metal, like UFO and Michael Schenker and Thin Lizzy and stuff like that. And, I bring a lot of that into the solos that I write. And, I don't know, we throw it all together and we mix it in a pot and it comes out sounding like us. And, so it's, we're really lucky that, a lot of bands get together. They have a lot of, different influences and they kind of butt heads with that. We don't, it's a very collaborative writing process. And everybody gets their say, and it ends up working really well.
It does. It translates real good for you guys. So, how did you get here, man? How did you get to this musical journey? What led you on this path?
Personally, man, it was I was just a kid, man. I was hanging out with my cousin. He's 9 years older than I am, and he plays in like some, punk band still to this day, down in Texas where I grew up in San Antonio. He's kind of a legend down there in the underground scene. And, he had Aerosmith records and Zeppelin records and Sabbath records and stuff. And, I was staying with him and he put the records on and I just fell in love with it. It's like, this is what I want to do. And, the first record I ever bought with my own money was Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. I dragged my mom to the store and, made her buy that, with me. Handed her my money and said, I'm going to get that. And, I know from there it's been, just something I always wanted to do. And I got a chance to see Randy Rhoads about 2.5 weeks before the plane crash happened. And that cemented it in my mind that, I want to play guitar. That's what I want to do because the guy just blew me away. I've never had anybody play guitar like that in my life.
Yeah, I got to see him 2 months before he passed. So
yeah,
it was just very influential.
Yeah, just thin little ethereal looking guy just making these sounds that nobody else could make. It was it was so inspiring, to see that.
Cool. Did you then go out and get formal lessons, or did you teach yourself, or how was your journey to learning your instrument?
Well, it's like my dad wouldn't buy me a guitar because he just didn't like the whole idea. He kind of had this idea that musicians were beatniks and no goods, So I saved up my money, got my own guitar, and I started, with lessons at the local music store. I bought the guitar and stuff like that. My first guitar is this old Japanese V by a company named Lotus. I still remember it. I had to get a flying V because I was a big KK Downing fan, and
Right.
and I don't know, it's like, lessons were fun, but for me, it's just spending a lot of time just figuring stuff out and, working with tabs and things like that from magazines. And mostly I'm self-taught. I like to say I know enough theory to be really, really dangerous. Sometimes I get myself into trouble with it, but, it's a lot of fun. And, you can't improve yourself enough, as a musician. That's another, allure to me about it is that you're always getting better. You can always learn something from anybody. And that's kind of my approach, It's sit down, figure stuff out and roll with it. And been fortunate kind of to develop my own style. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good positive attitude, that as with everything we do in our lives, continual improvement. If you try harder and be humble with what you learned, it can only better your journey. That's cool, man.
Yeah. I always say, like, today I'm satisfied with my guitar playing. It's kind of the day I just want to set my guitar down and use it as an end table. I want to keep improving. You can always get better. And that's, I don't know, music just comes from a special place, and you know, there's so many things that go into it between theory and emotion and all that stuff, and just being able to take that and harness that, and you know, write something that means something to yourself, and you know, hopefully means something to other people. It's a really really cool gift.
Yeah, it is. It is, and I'm glad you phrased it that way. You know, it truly is a gift. In, you know, everything that we do should be a gift to the people that we incorporate in ourselves. You know, when I do my writing or do my photography and stuff, those are my gifts to the people. And I'm sure that's how you feel when you write your songs and record your music and let other people share within it. You know, you feel it. I get that sense that you feel that same way.
I do, absolutely. You know, it's like I'm always really, really flattered when somebody tells me, you know, a song that we've written means something to them, you know, beyond just, you know, jamming and you know, banging their heads. And it's really, really cool when you hear that. And just like, you know, one person telling you that just makes you want to keep going and keep going and keep going.
Right. That's cool. And I imagine it's got to be a kick in the ass when you got people singing back your songs to you when you're on stage.
Oh, it's great. You know, our song BTK, that's sort of our crowd sing-along song. You know, it's a song loosely based on the BTK serial killer. It's more just a look inside the mind of someone who might do that to somebody, you know, but everybody starts chanting along, you know, bind, torture, kill. It's pretty fun. You know, it's just over the top kind of look at it, and you know, it's just when you hear people start, you know, singing your songs back to you, it's a real kick, man.
It is, I bet. You know, and it's a release for the crowd too when they, you know, they feel like there's a unity there, and they can, you know, get all their tensions out and release them there in a rock show, which is where I was going next in our conversation. Was give me a little bit of insight into what the Son of Remains show is like.
Man, it's straightforward. It's heavy. You know, you know, we didn't record anything that we can't reproduce live, and you know, so you know, we put together a very true representation live of what you hear on the record, of course, but it's got that live energy and that vibe to it. I mean, you know, we jump around and move around a lot, and our vocalist Michael, he's you know, he's a great front man. He's a little goofy. You know, he brings a little humor into it as well. He likes to, you know, fuck around with us on stage, and you know, we just have a really good time while we're playing. You know, I get a kick. I turn around, I look at Paul, and he doesn't move around. You know, he's not like a flashy drummer, but he'll have this big shit-eating grin on his face while he's playing, and it's fun to watch that. You know, and then, you know, it's you know, just being able to make eye contact with people out in the crowd and bring them into the show, like, you know, make it feel like they're on stage with you is kind of what we try to do. You know.
That's cool, man. And you guys get a chance to spend time with the crowd and pick their brains and see what they're looking for?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we, you know, of course,
yeah.
via social media, you know, that makes it easier than ever now. You know, you can talk to everybody. I mean, everybody who comes to our Facebook page and gives us a like, I try to shoot them a thanks. And then, you know, before and after the shows, you know, we're hanging out at our merch booth, and, you know, we like to talk to people and, you know, just, you know, find out what they're thinking, how they heard about us, you know what they like, what they don't like. Because, you know, people will, they'll definitely tell you what they don't like really quickly.
Yep.
A lot more quickly than they'll tell you what they like, you know. And so it's it's great to get that immediate feedback. And you know, our fans are, you know, like every band will say the same thing, but our fans are like our family. And you know, we're really grateful that we have as many as we do. And there, you know, we got fans that got Son of Remains tattoos and everything like that. So that was kind of a trip too. When when we saw our first band with a SOR tattoo on, it's like, wow, that means something.
Yeah, that's cool. That's diehard, man. You know, and I know a lot of people say, you know, why would you do that? Well, you know, it's obvious that, you know, to that person, Son of Remains meant something deeper than just listening to the music, you know, and you know, good on them for that. It's a period in their life where they're going to enjoy it, you know, and, you know, it's going to be with them forever, so that's cool.
Yeah, you know, I told him, I said, you know, you better hope we don't change our logo anymore. I was just teasing him, you know, but, yeah, he's a you know, a good dude. He's comes to almost every one of our shows here in Knoxville, and whenever he can, and you know, it's a lot of fun seeing. You get your repeat crowd out there. They come to every show, and it's like that's really cool, you know.
That's nice.
So
you guys going to be able to take this show on the road, or what are we looking at?
Yeah,
doing, man?
Absolutely. We're looking at late spring probably, getting out there. You know, we're putting together a skeleton right now, and you know, trying to work with some booking agencies and things like that to help us out. But you know, we're doing it sort of DIY right now. I got a couple of possible runs. We're thinking either one up east or one out west, just depending on, you know, what works out better for us. But I'm a Texas boy, and I haven't been home to Texas in a while. As a matter of fact, no one in my family down there seen me play in years. So I'm really looking forward. I'm really hoping we can swing it and work our way down through Texas and out west, and then maybe back up to the Midwest, get back to Knoxville.
Cool. I'm just a step away in New Mexico, and you got a temporary home here if you guys ever make it out this way.
Yeah, I think if we hit Texas, we'll definitely come to New Mexico. What part of New Mexico are you in?
Right in the middle of Albuquerque. That's our biggest town.
Okay.
There's a
Yeah.
nice
I've been at Albuquerque. Albuquerque's a cool city.
We'd love to have you
a couple times. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. We'd drag some people out and make sure people got to the show, and maybe do a little live interview too. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we definitely have some interesting personalities in our band. We're always, we're a lot of fun when we get together and cut up and do like live interview or something like that. So we're really fortunate. We all like each other in this band, so it's a really good thing. There's not a lot of bands who don't, especially after time on the road. But when there's 7 of us crammed into the back of my Jeep Commander, pulling a trailer, it really helps that you can actually stand each other.
That's cool, man. So we're talking to Herb from Scent of Remains. Good band, man. It's a good record. They've got a brand new record out. It's called Under a Blackened Sky. Got 13 tracks on it. It's heavy at times, it's melodic at times. It's generally a good rock and roll record. Tell us about what you want to tell us about, man. The world's yours right now. The floor is yours. You can go anywhere you want to go. Tell us.
Wow. I guess I'll start by just doing the self-pop and say, check your local record stores, see if they've got it. If they don't, they can get it. It's available to anyone that wants it. Try to get it in there. And, just support music, support your local music, support, just buy CDs and buy songs. And, we artists need it. It helps us, get from point A to point B, and helps us support ourselves. And it's been the industry is a lot different than it was 20 years ago. And it's a lot more difficult for us as artists to, continue to do what we do and take our shows on the road to people. So we need it now more than ever.
That's true, man. Make sure you guys buy their records and buy the shirts and stickers. That's what keeps live music alive and keeps these guys able to do what they do. I always say that, get out to a show, support these touring bands in any way you can, and let's keep rock and roll alive.
Absolutely. It's like I try to go see as many people who come through here as possible. We support our other local bands that are in our scene here in Knoxville and East Tennessee, and we got a really nice scene here with some really tight knit group of bands and really good bands too. Knoxville's been fortunate. We've had Strength and Stitch come out of here. We've had Whitechapel come out of here. We've had 10 Years come out of here. And, I guess we're kind of the next one that's signed on a label and is getting our stuff out. And, there's other bands that warrant a look from this area as well. And, for being, a mid-sized, small to mid-sized market, we've got a lot of talent here.
That's cool. Like you said, local scene, to me, in my opinion, the whole world is a local scene because every band was a local band at one point in time.
Hey, absolutely. And that's something that, people forget, they really forget about that.
Yep.
And, it's absolutely true. Lamb of God was a local band at one point way back in the day, and you got to start somewhere. And, if you come out to the venues and support these guys, you're going to keep them going and keep them driven, and they're going to continue to write, really, really kick-ass music.
That's a true thing, man. www.facebook.com, Scent of Remains. You can check these guys out. Make sure you pick up that record. And, you guys got www.scentofremains.com. And
Yep.
Hopefully we see you out on the road, man. And it's been great talking to you. Scent of Remains.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh, before we go, man, why don't you tell me what your favorite track is off the record? We'll throw it on this interview.
Yeah, I've got a couple of different favorites. My favorite track to play live is BTK, as I've already said. That's nice. It's just straightforward. I can perform the hell out of it. It has one of my favorite guitar solos that I've ever cut on it, and that's probably my favorite to play live. Favorite track on the record? It's tough. I'm probably gonna say Parasite. Got a little bit of everything in it. It's kind of got the slow, haunting beginning. It's got the kind of doomy riff in the middle, and it kind of just goes a lot of different places and has a really cool finish. From Ashley Rise is also a really good one. That's kind of what we're pushing as our first single out there. And then he got Wakefield, which is all acoustic, and that's actually our bass player Jeremy Powers playing acoustic guitar on that, and Michael, just the two of them doing what they do, and it's a beautiful song. It shows the softer side of Center Remains. I like to say it's Michael's vulnerable side, but it's all about him growing up as a kid, and how he can't get back to that state anymore. Life has changed so much, so it's I think there's a lot of good tracks on the record, but I'm kind of biased, I guess, but
I agree.
Yeah. Those are my favorites.
All right, man. I'm going to play it out with Parasite, and this has been the Hellion Rocks, heard from Center Remains. We'll catch you next time.
All right, man. Horns up.